What's up, everybody? It's me, Hunter. I hope everyone is having a good Thursday and hopefully a good weekend soon. Um, Today I will be leaving, not YouTube, but I will be leaving for the weekend. So no more Dying Light streams and stuff like that for the weekend. If you're into that, I don't know who would be into that. So today we're going to be taking a look into who you should pick as your starter frame. I made a video on this earlier. I saw a lot of hate, and I think I just didn't get the right insight on it. I was really stupid back then, so please, um, yeah. So obviously, we're going to talk about Mag, Excalibur, and Volt. We're going to talk about their pros and cons, why you should pick them, and yeah. So before we should get into it, I'm just going to try to, exclude Mag out of the game because she's the type of frame that you should just farm for later, but she's not the type of frame that you should definitely go for right now because, or when you start the game, because you're not going to have the right mod setup to actually, you're not going to have the right mod setup to get her to her full potential. And that's kind of the same argument I have with Excal. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Volt. We're going to talk about why I like Volt better as a starting frame. And the reasons why I think I have a lot better opinions on this. But really, it comes down to your opinion, who you like to play more. And yeah, I don't. No one really picks Mag as the starting frame anymore, and I really don't blame them. She's not the best. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why you should not pick Excal. Everyone's going to be like, oh, you should pick Excal, Excal, Excal. Yes, he's like the most badass frame in the game. Okay, that and Ash. Ash and Excal are like the most badass frames in the game, and we all know that. It's very obvious, you want to pick yourself up like a badass looking frame, right? Well, Volt here is he's a ninja. He looks like a ninja. But we're not gonna go into that right now. We're gonna go into Excal and yeah. I say a perfect balance of mobility and offense. Excalibur is the ideal Warframe for new players. So what I could say here is his mobility. The mobility side of him is a slash dash. Um, I made an argument in the past that I said is like, hey, this guy only has 1.0 sprint speed, and he has basic sprint speed. So this is the mobility build I use for him. This is just to get around the map extremely quick. So obviously you want to just follow that, but you're gonna see that the mobility build just dominates in terms of getting Excal around. I don't even know where I went. Like that's how far I went. But yeah, you can see that you can really just abuse the entire slash dash, and you're gonna launch yourself across the map. We'll use these pillars for example. We'll use these pillars for example to get around, and you're gonna see you just launch yourself across the map. And if you go two-faced, you're gonna see that you can't really get anywhere. But you're gonna see that his slash dash just launches him across the map, and that's his mobility side of things. Obviously, I went with like the blue kind of textures, and it really glows out here, and I really like it. Um, but yeah. So you can also slash dash up in the air. His slash dash is really good for getting around the map. It only costs you like 6 or 7 energy, so you use it the way you want. And that was the mobility build. But what really makes XCal is his insane damage output with his chromatic dash build. Now, this is the build that has really set me off with XCal. This is what has gotten me the reputation of a good Warframe builder because of this very abusive build that I found out. And this is a very good build. Obviously, I think it's probably my favorite build I've ever made in the entirety of my life. And it's a very reliant build, you know. I'm going to show you the builds that I use for each character. I don't know about Volt. The thing about Volt is I still need to form a him, but he's still really good in the state he's at. So, slash dash, you get a bunch of crits in there, and then you start going off with your combo multipliers, and you're gonna get a lot of damage over time. Right? I see a lot of people like not getting the same build as I'm happy that no one's copying the build I use, and they'll copying the build I made and say they're the creators of it. I really appreciate people respecting that. I know I'm a small YouTuber, but I do think some people have seen this, and that they are respecting me enough to where they don't actually show the build. And, and all the other people like Distant Observer and all the people who made their chromatic blades build, where like Distant Observer had insane attack speed. Well, you know that. Uh, you can also it didn't kill as fast as mine, and that's no biggie. This one has less energy. His doesn't do that much damage. It's all good, but yeah. So one thing is that chromatic blade status chance is increased by 50, not 250. So don't like the more power strength you have like 100% increased by 100%. It's not to 100%, it's by 100%. Please do not do that. I beg to you, do not do that. But you know, we have these builds here that gives me this insane amount of damage. You know, this gives me, these two give me 120% status. So, XCal is just set up with a bunch of, his own little thing. And I kind of respect that. So, but as you can see, we just put this in here. We'll get just as much status with like Weeping Wounds and all that. And we have Organ Shatter, so we get critical damage. This is the build for my XCal. We have Prime Pressure Point, really good mod, all this kind of stuff. This is my Broken War build, so just go ham. And Berserker is such a necessity mod when using this entire build. It all just syncs together. And yeah. Other things I would use, if it did increase your status to 100%, I'd probably replace that with Relentless Combination. And this is stuff that can really affect your game in the long term run. This will allow you to keep XCal's combo multiplier up, but it doesn't do a lot. It doesn't do slash damage. But you can see his just, and that's one of the reasons you should pick Excalibur as your starting frame, is because, well, he does a lot of damage, and he does a lot of damage. What else do I have to say besides get him? Like, get him if you like him. I'm not gonna force you to pick him. Now, I would form this if you want to go for like a pure attack speed build. Instead, you can take Weeping Wounds out for like a Primed Fury, and I don't blame you. It's a good mod, right? But you do want to have Blood Rush in there at least, and then you can have, instead of Violent Scourge, you can use Drifting Contact, which will allow you to get extra combo duration. You'll get less gas damage considerably, but And then we can take into account, I think we can put in, damn it, we can't, but yeah. Overall, yeah. I want to see if this actually affects. Before we get into anything else, I want to see if that affects anything of the exalted blade. Does that increase the... No, I don't think so. I don't think that increases it. No, it doesn't. Dude, that should increase it, bro. That should increase it all the way. But yeah, you like it. So yeah. But in my opinion, stick with your basic build. Stick with the build I have here. You're gonna have a lot of status chance. You're gonna have a lot of damage too. Yeah, so as you can see, I have 800 gas damage, which is fairly good. Fairly good. Other things that Excal's good at, he's fairly tanky, so he's good in the long run when doing your beginner survival and defense missions. His base stats, he has 100 energy, for whatever reason. I thought he had 150. But, whatever. This is all of his base stats when you first get him, I guess. And, yeah. Heck, look. And, the reason I don't pick Excal over Volt in the scenario of my first starting frame is Volt's he's a lot more forgiving. And, Volt just provides a lot more for a team. And if you're going to level up your weapons, you're going to have to play team objectives. Now, one thing that Excal does have over Volt is, the ability to have, 210 more armor. And, am I getting that right? Yeah, 210. Yeah, 210. I feel stupid. But Volt has a little bit more shields, and the whole shield gating thing might come out. I don't know, but there's a lot more mods that, provide shields in the beginning of the game, which will overall give Volt more survivability than Excal in the beginning of the game. He also has the same energy for whatever reason, but when you get his prime, he's obviously going to get more energy. But with Excal, you're going to see that he just does more raw damage, while Volt is more of an all-rounder CC defense character. And that's the thing with Volt. That's why I love Volt. Volt's one of my personal favorite frames in the game because of his all-around kit. And everyone knows his... everyone should know Volt's or Excal's abilities. This is his base stats when they're rank 3 and all that. The shield... the shield is one of his best abilities. A lot of people say that this guy he's super good because of his all-round kit. He has the shield that takes infinite damage. You can also pick it up. You can also pick the shield up. It takes energy out though, but you use your secondaries with it. You can pick it up, move it. And the good thing with the starter frame is you can get like a 20 to 25 second to 30-second shield in the beginning of the game. Now, is that super good? Yes, it really is. It's super good because, at the beginning of the game, you have yourself a decent amount of energy. You can get yourself up to like 300 energy with a max flow, which really isn't that hard to get, but with like a regular flow damage, you're going to have like 225 energy, which is fine because the shield only costs around 50 energy, and if you build for a little bit of efficiency, it'll build out and you'll only have to spend like 30 energy on the shield. And that's what's good about Volt, is he doesn't have really any energy over time until he picks up the shield, and he also works really well because if you shoot through the shield, let me show you here. If you shoot through the shield, you gain bonus damage. So he's extremely defensive and can dish out a lot of damage. He works well with guns, and while Excal works well with the melees. But there's something else. He could work well with melees, but he needs to have Naramon skill tree for him to actually be effective. That's why I don't think Volt's going to be that... He's going to be that interesting after the entire rework of the focus tree, this guy isn't going to be too meta, but at the same time, he's super good for defense missions, and you'll see the reason why. You can also one-shot heavy gunners with the Phone of Prime. You can see the Uniphone of Prime is just, as you can see, just, you know, a bunch of critical chance and multiplier, and you're going to see, oh my god, I keep saying that, I'm cringing my asshole out, but, yeah. We'll show you. Volt just synergizes really well with secondaries, in my opinion, because of this entire ordeal. The secondary meta is kind of like really goable, as you can see. You know, this is why you should get Volt. But his prime is really where you want to focus on. And that's the con with Volt. Volt, you have to get his prime. You have to. Or else you're not going to reach his, you know, maximum potential. And it sucks, but you kind of have to deal with it. As you can see, you do a lot of damage with the secondaries because of that variability. He works well with every secondary in the game so far. There's nothing he doesn't work well with. The shield doesn't only pump out extra electricity damage, it just pumps out raw damage and static and crit damage, I believe. You're gonna see he just mows down with the shield. And everything about him is just amazing in terms of synergizing with the team. Like I said, he also has a lot of crowd control, and he has really good mobility. He has more mobility than Xcal, and you don't really have to build him for speed, as if you build him for speed, you're also building him for a shield. And you can also recast speed. And this also increases your melee attack speed. Ah, yes, I got him. But this also increases your melee attack speed to a very suitable amount, which is why it goes really well with Naramon. And I'll show you. But the thing about Volt is you can also build him for a pure speed build. It's not going to be the best. And I'm not using any stealth multipliers at all, so I'm not really trying to show off the entirety of his melee. But what I'm really just trying to show you here is that he's just really well overall when using weapons, while Xcal is just a pure melee frame. And that's what I don't like about Xcal. He's only reliable on melees. He even has a passive that, you know, helps melees do increased amount of slash damage, which is good. Might have a good time. But yeah, you're gonna see that Volt just overall does really well. He doesn't do the damage that Xcal does, but during Naramon and long endurance runs, Volt is super good. Volt is amazing. So yeah, you got the shield, you got the speed. What else do we have in Volt's kit? Well, we have a shock that does not extra damage, but it stuns them. I don't know how I died, but you're gonna see that the shock just stuns them, and I don't know why there was two enemies, but whatever. So you're gonna see his shock. You don't even need to aim your shock to, you know. Oh my god, amazing! But he also has his overload, which is basically his shock on steroids, shall I say. We'll just do 4 heavy gunners, and you know, these heavy gunners are here to just test. He doesn't do damage unless, you know, he uses his shield. And okay, so the thing is, you don't need range when using this, and the stun lasts like 10 times longer than the actual shock. And you're gonna see that you only need to link up to one enemy, and everything is going to everything is going to link up. Like, every enemy is going to be shocked if they get near one other enemy that's being shocked. And if you combine this... hold on. There's like a passive where you put your shield down and then you shock. Something happened, but oh, if like shock through the shield, you have like yeah, see, it just overcharge. It's like supercharges your shield. But you're gonna see, like, you put overcharge down, and you know everything just kind of goes well together, in a sense. And his entire kit is like low-key synergizes. So you do that, you shock the shield, you supercharge the shield, you discharge through the shield, so you can pick up the shield. Right, or you can speed your way into it. Everything just kind of syncs well with each other, and that's what you gotta learn with Volt. That's why I like Volt. That's why I think he's one of the best frames in the one of the best starter frames. Is everything just kind of complements him, and whatever, right? I mean, you see, I have a lot of shields with Volt. Here's the build I use with Volt. I think there's one missing mod slot. Yeah. Because I just don't have the time to form with this guy. I really don't. And if I would probably put in... I don't even know what I'd put in. I'd probably go for a little bit more efficiency, if anything. But yeah. I don't know why I have handspring on him, but... I guess it counters heavy gunners pretty well. So you don't want to build Volt out for strength. He's not a strength character. For the beginning characters, what you really want to do is you want to use duration and efficiency. So screw range. It's all about duration and efficiency. Your shield, it will be big enough. You can put down 6 shields. That'll last 20 to 30 seconds. Playing a defense mission, you're going to be good. There's nothing you need to really worry about. What are my end thoughts on this? And I'm sorry that this has been such a long video, but I have to explain all of it. I have to show everyone, you know, these builds and why these are important. You know, why is it important to pit this frame over this frame? And it's all kind of just, you know, it scares me, but I really have to do this, and I always screw something up. But yeah. So you obviously so I honestly recommend Volt as your first starting frame. He comes with the things you need on a team, which is defense, CC, and um, defense, CC, and speed or mobility. He comes like he's like a defensive version of XCal that. So obviously he won't do the damage, but he will do a lot of mobility, defense, and CC. So he's a really good defensive frame. But the thing about XCal is he's more of a survivor frame, and you know that's why I kind of recommend XCal over Volt. Is if he has more raw damage, which means he has more killing power, and if you have more killing power, the faster you'll finish extermination missions, or something like that. So in conclusion, I honestly recommend Volt, but it's completely your opinion. I know one YouTuber said if you don't pick XCal as your first frame, then you're not good or something like that. I forgot who that was, but I'm calling you out because you're simply wrong. Each frame promotes a different playstyle. It really does. And XCal, man, I'm breathing heavily, but XCal is your offensive, Volt is your defensive. Both of them have decent CC. Volt has more CC, XCal has a blind that gives him a stealth multiplier. Volt has a shield that gets him an extra crit multiplier, which allow him to, dish out more damage with guns, while the blind allows XCal to dish out more damage with his Exalted Blade. So please, whenever you're using XCal, blind and then slash them unless you for sure don't have the energy. If you're going for a high endurance run, I don't think a beginner player would, but please blind and then use your Excal. Uh, one argument I do have over Volt or Volt over Excal is, Volt is more beginner game friendly. I did tell you this earlier. He has a more friendly build. You can use a noob's build on Volt, and you can still get away with him. While if you use a noob's build on Excal, you're not going to dish out enough damage, and you're not going to survive as much. And that's the reason why I'd pick Volt over Excal. And yeah, like everyone's like Excal is Bay and shit. He's best in the beginning of the game. He really isn't the best at the beginning of the game, but everything is such a low level, I guess. But you're gonna be in that one time where you're like you don't have the best frames, and your best damaging frame is gonna be Excal because you have a really high damage frame, so you can't for a fact that you're gonna yeah. But like you're gonna be in that midpoint of the game where you're not doing enough damage for the team, and that's the problem with that's the problem with Excal, especially if he's your only damage frame. You're not gonna get away with him. Other frames I would recommend you to get are Ivara. Ivara is a really good frame. I really love Ivara. She's really good with her stealth. Mesa, I recommend Mesa all the way, but I love Mesa. Nidus, I recommend Nidus. Other frames you should get at the beginning of the game. Um, you can get Excal before you can even get Volt overall, and that's because in Volt you need to clan. But I guess if you find yourself a clan, you can get Volt. But Excal's more forgiving because he is actually no, because they remastered the boss fight. So yeah, Volt's gonna be easier to get after you get the first frame. And other starting frames I recommend you to get would be Ember, Valkyr. I feel so weird saying Valkyr, but like Ember, Valkyr, Saren if possible, especially Rhino and Frost. I love Frost. I love Frost. I love Ember. I love the way she looks. But overall, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to tell you guys besides your personal opinion. Sorry that the video is extremely long. If but please don't try to say anything that's gonna make me jealous. You're not gonna make me jealous. You really aren't. I'm talking to the people who are saying my Nikana can hit less hits or something like that, or like half less. We all know it's not half less hits. It's probably like 3 or 4 hits less, and that's because you could probably crit a little bit more because you're lucky with your crits. Because I'm never lucky in a game. But yeah. Overall. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and possibly subscribe. It would make my day. Peace out.